on a Friday night.
Welcome back to Pints and Politics.
All right, don't tell me. What was that, like Travis Tritt style intro?
Actually, the prompt was create me a song about pints and politics that sounds like Choosing Texas by Ella Langley.
Oh, really? I mean, Choosing Texas is a pretty decent song.
I mean, it had the man singing, though.
Yeah, right. It sounded like a Travis Tritt voice, you know? Hey.
I smell TROUBLE, right?
Cheers. Hey, thanks again
Cheers.
for our sponsor, Comer Distributing, for this week's tasty beverage. I'm what
scared.
Are we drinking, man? SNAFU Brewing?
Yeah, pineapple sour.
Where are they out of?
Out of Charleston.
All right. Hey, can art.
Can art's on point.
It's looking good,
That's
folks.
the reason I picked it out.
But man, pineapple sours.
Let me try my first sip. I'm a little scared.
It don't taste like beer.
I don't know. I kind of like it. You scared me.
Well, I'm just, maybe the traditional, and you're more of the...
I like pineapple.
Hey.
So, tastes good to me.
Guffey likes pineapple. He puts it outside his front door and everything.
Hang it upside down,
Hey, man, it's been a busy week. Like we talked about in a prior episode, it seems that now both chambers, House and Senate, see, it's like we're pulling off the numbers off a calendar. It's like a countdown. We know we have, 16 days left. We still got to pass a budget. Do you see that we're going to pass a budget before Sine Die?
I hope so, but I think it's going to depend on what the Senate's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got too many bills sitting there.
I just don't see us getting a budget to the governor by the time we get out. I just don't. Which is fine.
Which means you have to come back.
Yeah, we'll have to come back. So, which is fine. We don't mind working. We don't mind a little OT.
Look, honestly,
No
whenever
tax on tips now.
Yeah.
So
it comes down to this time of year in the second year of the session.
Yep.
I don't want to leave until we finish everything that we've been working on.
Yeah, correct.
I get sick and tired of working hard to get something moving, and then all of a sudden, clock runs out.
Yeah. So, man, we had a busy day just today. I know personally, we always do this weekend review. Today I was out, had a morning coffee meeting with a doctor who's retired, who's passionate about rural healthcare.
Yep.
And so him and I are working together, trying to get together over 2 weeks. Each meeting we have some action items, and he's trying to actually do the legwork and help recruit some rural physicians, especially retired ones, to go in and work in these free clinics. And what we're focused on right now is the areas just that surround York County, right? So
It'd be great if we could do the same thing for law enforcement.
we've tried to narrow the scope to, because York County, as you know, is not rural. I mean, over there in Hickory Grove on the western side, but there's only a couple zip codes over that way on bordering Cherokee. But Cherokee is all rural, Union's all rural, Fairfield's all rural, and then back up to Chester's all rural.
Yeah, the Broad River side
Yeah.
is definitely rural.
So we're focused on that. And then we had, my family had Special Olympics today, man, over at Cherry Park. Always a good time. The weather cooperated. It was sunny and nice. My boys are beat. It is now Friday afternoon. And we also had a ribbon cutting
For Miracle Park.
Miracle Park. Phase 2 is finished, and Phase 2 was just a couple more ball fields, but also it had an education space. It also had some retail for a cafe that's going to be staffed by special needs young folks. So looking forward to that sort of all coming around. But the construction, everything's done. Ribbon got cut today. Thought everyone did a good job. I think I've seen the mayor at least 3 times today, and it sounds like we have a similar event this evening. So I'm going to see him again before the day is through.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of Come See Me here in Rock Hill.
Yep.
So we're going to have events from now until next Saturday.
Yeah.
Correct? Every night, every day, there's going to be events going on. This is our huge tourism event. And I'll tell you, whenever it comes to Miracle Park, if you haven't seen it, it is well worth the trip. It is
100%.
the world's, not just South Carolina's, the world's best all-inclusive park.
Yep, and did you know that is the most frequent park in York County?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Kudos, man. That's been a total community effort. Also, we include the state because the state owned ground through Winthrop to get that thing started. So,
and Winthrop's Life program,
yeah,
being involved with it as well.
And so, last but not least, one of the things I did today, I sort of felt like Brandon Guffey.
Press conference.
Getting an interview from Spectrum News, and I was like, okay. But yeah, they wanted to have a conversation about mental health, which is a pressing issue. And then also, we talked about some of maybe the drivers of the trend, the troubling trend that we're seeing in mental health amongst youth, social media, apps, people living on a device and not capping their kids at less than 3 hours.
Lack of physical interaction.
Yep. But we also talked about how the state government, how we've been focused on that legislatively, right? And I gave them a couple of things that we've been doing, what we've passed, and so yeah, I was like, you know, I'm always flattered to be asked for an interview, but I was like, this is usually Representative Guffey's territory.
On the mental health side of things, too.
I just mean getting out in front behind the camera, you know what I mean?
Hey, any hospitals or PBMs need somebody to interview, just call me next time, right?
Yeah, that's right. So good segue to the PBMs.
Well, I got to do my week in review. Come on now.
Oh, I thought this was about me this week.
No. Today I started off by speaking at South Point High School. Part of WRHI's Prom Promise, because we have prom this weekend too. You got a daughter going to prom?
Hush. Clean the shotgun, folks.
Yes. So I spoke to those teens about that, and then went to the Miracle Park, ribbon cutting. Of course, bringing Callahan and Melissa out there and getting the shave ice.
Oh, yeah.
The Kona shaved ice as always.
I was going to see Callahan again, twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
He looked a little better today than he did.
That is true. Yeah, so Thursday he came down. He had some dental work done. Whole side of his face was numb, swollen. He couldn't even, whenever he smiled, half his face would not open up.
Yeah. He had like the droop, you know, and I was like...
It was like, well, he's already out of school with the doctor's excuse, so
might as well
they decided to come down and say hello. They got there right at the end of session.
Yeah. Yep, that was good to see them. And so, you know, we talked about PBMs because some of the PBM legislation got a subcommittee hearing in LCI on Thursday morning. And so there was a lot of folks in there for that. And we wanted to take advantage of having Brian Clark, who is the CEO of the South Carolina Independent Pharmacy Association. So we had him on Midweek Sip, already getting some comments and some traction on that. But, you know, that led me to this next question of I wanted to get this out there because it seems that PBMs and health insurance denials affect all of us. I want to hear from y'all. We want to hear from y'all. Not whistleblowers, but just folks, share your experience. Let us know when you're listening to this reel, if you have been, what you feel have been denied, your claim has been denied by your health insurance unfairly, we want to hear about it. If you have an experience with your PBM that you feel that you have been steered or your access has been denied because your PBM wants you to go somewhere else than the pharmacy that you want to go to, we want to hear from you. So please reach out to the show, comment in the section, message the show. We will get back to you. This is an important issue. Obviously, we're not going to pass state legislation reforming PBM practices this year, but I do want to hear from our audience if there are things going on that you feel are just not right, it just doesn't feel right, whether it's the health plan or their PBM, please let us know. Reach out. We have, Representative Guffey and I have the platform and the ability to be able to help you, hopefully. And so I want to put this to the test. So that's a challenge for our two listeners.
Yeah, and my mom even, whenever we did the midweek sip, come on and commented and said, you know, she always had her prescriptions filled at Walgreens. Mm-hmm. And now they're forcing her to go to CVS.
Yeah, correct. And folks, they can't do that. They cannot direct where you pick up your drugs. So
unless it's a specialty pharmacist.
Well, and
there's other options, but still, specialty pharmacy.
Air quotes.
And if you do them, they're going to call you 20 times a week.
Yeah, so what else is going on this week?
Oh, man. I didn't even bring it up. I'm sitting here talking.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Justin Bamberg,
Yeah, the Bamberg thing.
yep, got us in trouble again this week.
Always.
You know,
The people's rep.
Shout out to the people's rep down there in Bamberg, South Carolina.
He was watching porn. If you hadn't seen Bamberg's video, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I was going to let you explain that. Yeah, so there was a little bit of controversy this week, and it all started when Justin Bamberg signed on the wrong line. So, folks, there was a resolution to, I don't know, congratulate, commend our former Vice President Kamala Harris for writing her book. I didn't know that was a thing, but obviously it's a thing. And the Democrats all went around, and what you have to do is you got to get this resolution, you got to get all the wording in, put a jacket on it, and then you go around and look for co-sponsors, and they got an initial on the second page. Well, Bamberg did that, and following the alphabet, Bamberg is just in front of Bannister. And he signed on the wrong line, and when it got read across the desk,
It looked like Bruce was supporting Kamala Harris's book tour.
Our colleague in the Republican caucus, Ways and Means chair and rep of Greenville, it looked like he was a co-sponsor on this congratulations Kamala Harris on your book tour. And so there were some folks in the Twitterverse and
Some folks, you mean Adam Morgan, the guy
Yeah.
that you just apologized to?
yeah.
He doesn't know the words "I'm sorry" to begin with. So instead of correcting it, he just doubles down.
Well, we're going to find out. Because we are going to find out this week if Adam Morgan can admit when he makes a mistake and apologizes to the person that he, I'm not going to say defamed, but he obviously just didn't do his research and made an honest mistake, which we do at least 20 times a day. So Adam Morgan, as you brought up to me when we made a mistake, and I honored, our word, and when we make a mistake, we'll own it, and we personally apologize to you. I extend now that invitation to you, sir. You made a mistake, an honest one, but instead of, when that was called out to you on your Twitter, you did not apologize. So, I'll give you a second chance. Show us your character. Do what we did. Admit your mistake. Do it publicly, please. And we'll move on. But if you failed to do so, you're letting us know a measure of your character.
You actually need this to show the measure of his character?
Hey, I try to give grace every single day. You know what I mean? Every day, every new day is an opportunity to do the right thing. And so, Adam, challenge issued. There you go. Because we did it. Let's see what you can do, brother. All right, what else?
670.
What else is going on?
Well, we had the income tax signed into law.
Yeah. What was that? Wednesday morning?
I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday morning. I didn't make it to the signing, the bill signing.
Okay.
Had other meetings going on, but
Yeah, so Henry McMaster and, Bruce was there, Speaker was there, President Alexander, a lot of,
Yep.
It was a bicameral event. This is that income tax reform that takes...
from 6% down to 5.21
Yep.
immediately.
Yep, and then it takes there's a second tier where folks making under, $30,000 individual is $199 with a path to zero.
Yep.
Based, with economic triggers. As our economy improves, tax rates come down
And $308 million in tax relief.
immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's great. Also, boat tax got signed into law.
Boat tax got signed into law. Props to Representative Brewer.
Yeah, man.
I think there was an article in the Post and Courier where he was talking about it. Mm-hmm. And, he said, our current system's broken.
Yeah.
And, that's obvious from us having the highest boat taxes. So this is the approach to try to, right that ship.
Yeah, for
So to
sure.
say. Pun intended.
And another one that, made a lot of news, I believe it was last year, when Charleston restaurants all got their hands slapped when restaurants were posting that they were selling local raised shrimp or, Charleston shrimp.
Yeah.
And turns out they were from like Vietnam, the waters of Vietnam. So after hearing all that, we wanted some truth in labeling, and we passed that out.
Yes, truth in labeling, which will require the country of origin for the shrimp to actually say where it's coming from.
Yeah. So again, just trying to deliver some integrity to that process, informing the consumer whether it's, prescription drugs or whether it's local raised shrimp.
Yep.
You should know what you're getting, and you should be able to read that on the label. So.
And we also, out of judiciary, we had the South Carolina Land and Critical Resources Act come out, which will stop foreign entities from owning farmland near critical infrastructure.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be a hot topic. I mean, I think we did a little digging and found that China owns some critical land around not only farmland, but also around military bases.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think this will ban any foreign adversaries from owning land in our state.
Yep. And again, we just have to be careful how that language is worded, right? You don't want, we talked about this before, the unintended consequence.
The 1%, 5%
right.
ownership.
Yeah, right. So we don't want that net to catch folks who it's not intended to catch. So
we also passed out the Kratom.
Oh, yeah.
The Kratom bill out of judiciary this week, so that will be coming to the floor.
And we also had the Girl Spaces.
The Student Physical Privacy Act.
Yeah.
We actually got that passed. A lot of people thought that this was going to fail because the Senate, from my understanding, Clemson University wanted some language in there. Instead of having the individual restrooms, they wanted it to list as portable. The reason was for any portable classrooms.
Yeah, sporting events. They wanted to make sure the language was flexible enough that in any circumstance they could have a single-use bathroom for those who felt that, a group bathroom that had, say, stalls or whatever didn't have. They felt safe.
Right.
And so. I did hear from some folks who had concerns basically saying that, so if you identify as transgender, you got to use a portable, or a portalet. No, that's not what Clemson was asking for. They're talking about sporting events, things that don't occur around, your brick and mortar restrooms. They didn't want to have to build single service restrooms out in the middle of the woods or, for like cross-country events or just anything that you can imagine. So they wanted to be able to have
I don't know if I've ever seen a trans at a sporting event other than playing. Just thinking about it. Sorry.
But I mean, you go to golf tournaments or whatever, and they have the trailers and whatnot.
Yeah.
You go to, like the Carolina Cup, they have those big trailers. So they just wanted to make sure they had some flexibility to where it didn't cost them $1 million just to put one bathroom in the middle of, what I mean?
Those are unintended consequences.
Yes,
and the argument was, we're just going to be putting out porta potties at schools.
Yeah.
And that is not the intent one bit. But there was some concerns over it. So we were fearful of whether we were going to get concur with the Senate, to which we'll send it to the governor, or else we were going to non-concur, send it to conference. But if we send it to conference, would it die?
You risk not passing
Right.
very important, meaningful legislation. And so the House, I think, did the right thing and concurred.
I agree. So, we also 105-0 vote on H 4611, which ensures that mothers with stillborn babies will actually receive paid parental leave.
Oh, I think this was a very important bill that doesn't get a lot of press.
Right.
Because, and again, until I think, was this Representative Neil Collins' bill?
I am not sure. I don't have the information in front of me.
If it wasn't his bill, he was like the sub-chair who was speaking on it. Because I believe that came through Ways and Means. But, I mean, this is an important one. You don't think about, maternity leave or family leave in these situations. So kudos to the members who brought up that idea. And again, this probably got brought to them, right?
Yeah.
Through some tragedies and things of that nature. But this is a very important bill because of the trauma that puts on
I know
young
from
parents and families.
If I would have had a job that I had to show up to whenever we lost Gavin,
Right.
I don't know what asking for leave, and I wouldn't have really cared.
Yeah.
And I'd probably just be out of a job because I was going to take the amount of time that I needed to get back right.
Yeah, correct.
And to bury my child. So I can't imagine a mother having a stillborn and having to go through that grief.
And then worrying about getting a paycheck and
Right.
paying bills. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. I think it just sends a strong signal to folks in South Carolina that, you know, there's compassion around these policies.
Yes.
And I think this demonstrates that. It's a good bill. It needs to get more headlines because this affects a lot of families. So,
Well, we also had the Safe School Act come out of education, out of the Education Committee, which will require coordination between our law enforcement and our schools to make sure plans for these critical events that may happen. So they'll be able to share information and have plans in place.
gotcha. Is this, there was a bill, I think it was last year that someone brought me. Is this like the mapping
Yeah,
and stuff?
I believe it does
Yeah.
have to do with the mapping. I'm not on education.
Okay, I believe this is mapping where all the schools get mapped and then that gets communicated back to local law enforcement. So if there is a active shooter event or something along those lines, they can be better informed to address the threat. And this is awesome. And again, I don't know enough about the bill.
Right. And I just had a highlight page typed up, not the
All
entire
the in-depth,
bill.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is an important issue that all schools need to address. And I do believe that the state, I haven't looked at this bill, but I'm pretty sure the state was going to assume the financial burden of making sure that those schools did get mapped, like that program got off the ground.
Yeah, I mean it's an important program.
School
to have.
safety. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. If parents and the students in particular don't feel safe at school, what's that say about our communities, folks?
Yeah, I'd agree 100%.
Yeah, man. But yeah, on the next segment.
You got to talk about what's coming up this week.
Yep, that's right. Maybe the governor's race. We got a debate coming up.
A little bit.
Be right back. This episode of Pints of Politics is brought to you by Comer Distributing. Comer Distributing Company is a wholesale beer distributor located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Founded in 1971, Comer is a family-owned business that distributes beer and other beverages to York, Chester, Fairfield, Lancaster, Kershaw, Lexington, and Richland counties.
Little Motley Crue one.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, that is like 90s right there.
Some old country.
Yeah. So during the break, we were talking about, we did want to highlight Chief Justice Kittredge came and gave sort of his state of the judiciary on Wednesday.
Very informative.
Folks, if y'all don't know, go check out Justice John Kittredge. He is a just solid dude.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, great legal mind, but you can tell he's just a decent man. You know?
He cares.
Every time you talk to him, whether it's one-on-one or he's, speaking in front of a large group, he just demonstrates why he's our Chief Justice for sure. And, man, I tell you, I didn't realize how many cases the judiciary branch takes. And folks, he had a little bit of slides that he threw up on the screen where we throw up the bills, and over 9 million cases come through the courts each year.
So, I mean, is it that we don't have enough judges or do we have too many criminals?
That's a fair question. But yeah, he talked about the ratios of, and he put up South Carolina, Alabama, and
Myrtle
Tennessee.
Beach was 6 million of this.
Right. Just in 2 weeks of the year.
Every description had "Hey Dudes" on.
What you wearing? Okay. But yeah, so he talked about a ratio of number of judges per 100,000 citizens, and he threw up South Carolina, Alabama, and Tennessee, and we were somewhere around like 0.87 judges per 100,000. Tennessee and
Alabama.
In Alabama were like 2 and point something, and I think Tennessee was like 3. And, it just shows the disparity of judges that we have serving. And he threw out that comment of, folks, we could add 4 more circuit court judges.
Yeah.
And we would be just over a 1. So we probably really need like 8 or 10 more circuits.
Yeah.
But, and again, I joked around with one of the...
Well, this is what we call growing pains, really.
Yeah.
Whenever you start getting, and we saw this in York County with the growth in the late teens, early 2020s, as everyone is coming in, and it's like, okay, we're getting the revenue coming in from the taxes, but the amount of time it's going to take to build, the amount of time to put this infrastructure in, there's going to be a little bit of a backlog.
Yeah. Well, and as this growth's coming in, Chief Justice brought up the judicial infrastructure.
Yes.
He talked about the governor's state of the state and how he prioritized infrastructure. But he talks about roads, bridges, airports, things of that nature, water, sewer. But Justice Kittredge said, we need to add judicial infrastructure to that, which is a good point, right? You don't think about the aging systems that run our judiciary and run our courts. We've got to make continuing investments in that. And so again, very enlightening because you don't think about that a lot.
Well, I mean, we talk about people pleading down cases that they didn't feel like should be pled.
Right.
Or would you talk about people getting out whenever they shouldn't get out? Well,
Right.
I mean, what are we doing with this system? Is this kind of like walking into a McDonald's and you got one person taking your order, and that's the same person going to go back, dropping the fries, making your drink, and then we're just complaining about it being slow?
Right.
So, or are we going to operate it properly?
Yeah. And so it did bring to mind that as the state continues to grow, we do need to keep in mind that the systems that operate, whether it's the legislative body, the executive branch, or the judicial, probably should be correspondingly growing with the population, right?
Well, that's with everything.
And again, we don't think about, hey, let's grow government, right? But you do need to think about, hey, we do need to fund things to a level that is corresponding relationally to
That's one of our problems that we had with the roads.
Right.
I mean, the formula supposedly with the gas tax, which happened before we got there,
Yep.
was this will solve the problem. What they didn't anticipate was the escalation of cost going up and the added bureaucracy coming from the federal government.
And they didn't take into account the tremendous growth of influx of folks and EVs, right?
Yep. I mean,
They didn't take into account.
No one thought Prius would take off.
I used to make fun of those people. But yeah, so again, just wanted to highlight what went on this past week. That's something that you don't think about a lot. Yeah. And I don't think about a lot, even as a legislature. I just never considered, sort of when I say business side, I just mean the operational side of running our court system. And it was always good to hear from Chief Justice Kittredge.
Right. I mean, we complain about it sometimes. Look, we don't have enough staff to help us out whenever we're trying to go through legislation at times. And in the Senate, they seem to have more staff and can work through things a little bit better. But at the House, sometimes everything gets thrown on you. And that's the reason you can't really be an expert in every field.
Yeah. And folks, just so you know, let's revisit this. Myself, Brandon Guffey, Randy Ligon, and David Martin, we're all in an office suite. So we have, a York County office suite. We have one legislative aide, and she's great.
Yeah. But in York County, we don't have a local delegation person here.
Yep. And so I'm chair of the delegation this year, and I'm rolling off in November. So, and I'll tell you this, every 2 years, the chair changes, and it goes from the House to the Senate, and then back every 2 years. So there's 2 officers, chair and a secretary, and those just flip-flop. So one's always a senator and one's always a House rep. Just food for thought. But so Mary also has to help coordinate delegation stuff.
Right.
where when we have a group coming up from York County,
Just students coming in.
and students, Northwesterns come twice in a row for the state titles.
That's just because they good.
That's right. Football City, USA, baby.
Yeah.
So South Point came up as well.
Clover.
Yeah.
Fort Mill.
We had Catawba Ridge just this week come up for a state championship. All of those things get coordinated. Mary coordinates it, especially like when we're doing lunches.
Yeah, or
for these
our own
teams,
York County groups that
Yeah,
come
like
up.
Leadership York County came up. All that stuff is coordinated, and Mary is doing all of that stuff, as well as helping support each individual office. So my office, your office.
If there's issues that can be handled without having to get us involved with someone, let's say a constituent has an issue, a lot of times Mary will screen our emails for us and handle the issue
Right.
prior to us even having to get involved.
Right. Yeah. So again, we've been blessed, man. We've had great legislative aides while we've been in the House. But
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
But are we? Should we revisit and look at that? Right.
I don't know. I mean,
Because again, I don't know what the impacts on the budget.
upgrading this building, that
Yeah. Floor by floor.
floor by floor, infrastructure by infrastructure. Add some cables. The Wi-Fi is still horrible though.
Yeah. No kidding. But so yeah, that was another thing that happened this week. Thank you to Chief Justice John Kittredge for coming over and saying a few words.
On the Senate side, you know, I had the 2 chatbot bills that I have the companion bills in the House were in the Senate. We had a lot of people come in. My fear, as always, whenever you do these massive call to actions, a lot of times you can stall your own bill. We're racing against the clock right now.
Yep.
And too many people were there to testify. And you had 2 bills, and essentially they complement each other. One's a little bit more defined, one is more the broad case. But neither one of them gets passed out because of the clock running out.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this prior to this segment. Same thing. LCI had a subcommittee, had a bill or 2 before the PBM reform bills, and at one point, Representative Mark Smith, and thank you, Representative Mark Smith, he finally just interrupted because it seemed like everyone was coming in speaking in favor of the bill, and Representative Smith just said, "Hey guys, for the sake of time and reading the room, unless you are speaking against this bill," he wanted to move the previous question. He wanted to get to the next bill, and
because it was overwhelming support. You don't need 30 people to say I support this if you don't have anyone opposing it.
Right, and you don't need 30 people to say the same thing.
Right.
So
or people testifying that truly don't know what they're talking about.
Well, and unfortunately, in regards to House Bill 4794 and 4791, we barely got into one of the bills. I think we heard from three people giving testimony and had to adjourn debate because we only literally had, I think, 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
But again, thankful to those committee members, thankful for Subcommittee Chairman Chris Wooten for at least having a subcommittee on it. It looks like we're circling back to PBM, the PBM issue. I saw that Senate put in some provisos for some study committees on PBMs, both Harvey Peeler and Senator Tom Davis. So thank you to them. This is going to be a joint ad hoc committee. And folks, when you get the joint ad hoc, you better watch out.
I want to do a joint ad hoc just on data ownership and privacy and cybersecurity.
Yeah, so it always seems that that's what happens when I think the House had a study committee on energy, and we didn't do anything. But then when we get a joint, then we get some legislation regarding energy.
You talking about the hemp bill?
I'm talking about the energy bill. So it does look like, the House, I chaired the PBM ad hoc last year, it doesn't bother me. If I'm on that study committee, I'll sit there and do all the same. I'll listen to the same folks, give the same testimony. But I think this is the next step in that conversation of bringing meaningful change and reform to how PBMs operate in our state.
Yeah. Now, in the Senate as well, REINS Act. which I've been saying since the beginning of last year, could be the most transformational bill for the state of South Carolina.
Yeah, and again, this is something that I would say is Doge-like, right? I mean, it is basically saying that for every regulation, you got to get rid of 2.
You're talking about eliminating essentially 20 to 25% of regs year 1.
Yep.
And then putting a sunset saying every 7 years, an agency must come back and state why we need this reg. And if you want to add a new reg, well, then you must suggest that you think could be removed. Not saying that they have to be removed.
And any new reg has got to refer back to the legislation of which enables the department or the agency to even propagate the.
If you can't show the law that says you have the right to request this reg, well, then you can't do it.
Yep. And so we were talking about this last 2 weeks because that's, for me, I thought it was a common sense bill. It passed out unanimously, didn't it?
It did.
In the House.
One of the first bills we passed last year.
And it's been sitting over in the South Carolina Senate for over a year, folks. Over a year.
I fought hard last year before Sinai died, trying to just get it a hearing so we could start it early this year.
And this is common sense. It's cutting government red tape. It's putting common sense sunsets on regulations to where they come back up in a cyclical nature, to where as the General Assembly membership changes, it still needs to make sure they keep that oversight responsibility.
Yes. And
it's just been over there marinating. And it did get a couple of hearings. That subcommittee, I think Senator Chip Campson is the chairman there. And I had reached out to a couple of the Republicans on that subcommittee just asking, like, hey, what is the holdup? Is it a calendar issue? Is it a philosophical issue? And, you know, in having some of these conversations, they had a subcommittee hearing on Thursday. But they put another amendment on it, and some of the changes that they want to make
kind of neuters the bill.
Right. And so...
And I'll tell you, the difference in the South Carolina version, because I participated in the leadership event in D.C. going through this with other states and talking with senators and reps up there as well that's been pushing for this. South Carolina's bill combined all the great aspects of the REINS Act versus many states were piecemealing.
Right.
One at a time. We had the opportunity to lead.
Yeah.
If we can just go that route.
So it did. The good news is, even though it's amended, and we're not fully in favor
completely neutered
of that version.
Yeah.
Hey, there's still hope because it got out of sub.
It can cut some red tape.
It's favorable to full. So let's get the Senate, get it out, pass it, and even if we non-concur, we can get to conference and hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, considering
get it to the governor.
It was a unanimous vote. Every House member seemed to agree with the original version.
Yeah, correct. So
I mean, those are bills that I typically am saying, okay, well, I don't think I got to look for too much improvement, or how am I going to mess this? But and if you have a lobbyist or someone coming to you and saying, oh, I got a problem with this, and then you make the amendment, well, now you could kill an entire bill, especially whenever it was a unanimous bill to begin with.
So, folks, call to action. Get in touch with your South Carolina State Senator.
Don't overwhelm the committee with testimony, though.
We don't
or
need
it won't come
testimony.
out.
Send them an email, call their office, and just say you're in favor of cutting government red tape. You're in favor of cutting out government regulation, especially if it's not needed or it's just so old that it's not even applicable, right?
It's the small business regulatory reform.
Yeah.
This is going to help so many small businesses, which will then lower their costs, which should lower your costs.
Yep. So one bill, you know, we're talking about Senate bills and House bills because this is the time now where we're in this crunch where each chamber where a bill originated, either the primary sponsors or leadership of that chamber is running across the other chamber saying, hey, this is the most important thing, you know. And so...
and everything's the most important thing.
And so this past week, Senator Johnson and I got on a legislative panel together, which we did last year, and it was us two, a brewery owner, a bar restaurant owner, and also an insurance guy, and sat around, talked about liquor liability and tort reform just in general. And, we talked about how there's a lot of connections. It's not just a single issue. There's just a lot of things going on that impact liquor liability premiums here in the state. One of them is an action item that we need to take up in the House. Stricter DUI penalties, right? If you look, insurance at its empirical form is pricing risk, folks. You know how you make your public roads less risky? You get the habitual drunk drivers off the road. Whether they have stiffer penalties to stay in jail, they don't have a license, but folks, we've got to send the message to these folks that drinking and driving, no bueno in South Carolina.
I'm ready to bring autonomous vehicles.
Waymo. So hopefully, I haven't even talked to anybody in the House about this, but I'm sure it's on the radar of Senate bills that we're going to be taking up to get across the finish line. Because again, that is a common sense piece of legislation that came out of the Senate. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, that we need to get to the governor's desk.
Yes.
Kidding, senators. So looking forward to next week. What you got going on?
Next week, I have a couple of talks on Monday, then I head down to Columbia. I'm supposed to, I was asked to be in D.C., but I said no, because I'm still trying to focus on getting Shazam across the finish line. Shazam, whatever you want to call it. But I still want to focus on getting that heard, and then the following week I'm going to be out of town for an award.
Okay. And I got a full medical sub Tuesday afternoon. Again, it's all Senate bills, folks. And this is now the time.
Yeah.
I think most of them are pretty common sense, good pieces of legislation. So we're going to have a lot of discussion on those. And one thing I did want to highlight is, folks, if you don't know.
Did you know? When
we're down in Charleston, there's a lot of legislative receptions and events that we get invited to.
In Columbia?
In Columbia. And
some of us go to Charleston.
And one of them is I'm pretty stoked about. Have you looked on the calendar?
At the Columbia Food and Wine Festival?
Yeah. So I love me some good food. And on Tuesday, whenever that 6 to 8, 5 to 7, whatever it is, that is one of our stops.
It'll be fun.
And so looking forward to seeing what Columbia area chefs
Wednesday we have the Geo Ball.
Store. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So bring your black suit. Do you go black tie there?
First time I showed up in jeans, t-shirt, and a sport coat. Because this guy didn't tell me how to dress. Him and Mark Smith and Brandon Cox are like, oh, meet us.
Well.
Yeah. Nothing like being the redneck sitting up there.
When you assume. But so, we've got a lot of work to do. And then last but not least, Thursday, we have Art Fields in Lake City. Folks, if you have never heard about Art Fields, Google it. It is a great event. We talk about Come See Me here in Rock Hill. This is Lake City, South Carolina's premier event. I think it's like a 2-week type of festival where they showcase local art, local artists, and more, right? It's also a showcase for your town. That's just like what Come See Me does, right? Yeah. It's a showcase of Rock Hill and our communities. And so we have, over the last 3 years?
I haven't been to it. I know you go down.
Man.
But I haven't been there.
All right.
I was scared of the gay gummy bear art. Is it down there?
I have not located that. That's like Bigfoot art. Heard a lot about it, never seen it.
I bet you it's very valuable.
But yeah, so there's been a group, and I think we're building because now there's some senators now coming. It's a legislative reception, and when we adjourn on Thursday, we all just take the I-20 ride over there and enjoy Lake City. We see.
It is a beautiful little town.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I think Darla Moore's done a lot to kind of revitalize that
that's sort
town.
of her hometown, and we get to have Representative Roger Kirby, and Senator Ronnie Sabb host us over there. And I wonder if Senator Chadwell's going to be there. I'm sure he's going to have to be.
As one of our producers would often say, it's God's country.
So we'll be heading to the PD part of the state next Thursday afternoon and evening to enjoy Arts Field reception there in Lake City. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then we have Heritage going on right now this weekend.
Yeah.
in Rock Hill, we've got the Come See Me events. Then we also have Strawberry Festival
up in Fort Mill. Yep.
So
I think they have an event next weekend too.
Busy festival time.
We have Moonlight and Jazz, and then we have with Beach Bashes tonight. We got Moonlight and Jazz next Friday.
Yeah.
We got the fireworks on Saturday. Strawberry Field up in Fort Mill on Saturday. Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to come hang out at your pool so I can get some tan on my legs before I break out the shorts. So.
That's right, baby. but yeah, it's that time of year. It's a great time to be here in South Carolina, not just in Rock Hill, but Lake City, Fort Mill, and other communities. I know the Azalea Festival is going on back in my hometown of Summerville, down in the Low Country. I know that's going on. So, folks, get out and enjoy your communities. This is that time of year where folks just want to get out and show off the best that they have to offer.
Yeah, and support your local businesses while doing so.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important things. Everyone, summertime becomes vacation time.
Yeah.
Right now, stay within the community, stay within the state.
Yeah.
Support those local businesses.
Absolutely.
And, that's the reason these festivals do so well. And so many people come from out of town to visit.
Yep, that's right. So that about wraps it up.
Yeah, please continue to like, follow, subscribe. Numbers are looking good. We want more interaction, though. We want to hear from you. Whether that's, and if you're too shy to post something on one of the social media channels,
or comment.
Send it through DMs.
Yeah, throw it through a private message. And folks, we're fine with disagreement, but keep it respectful, please. We like to stick to
if you're
policies.
not, then I'm coming back. Not respectful.
That's true. But yeah, tell them how to find us. pintsandpolitics.show. We're on all social platforms, Twitter, TikTok. Are we on Insta? Yeah,
Instagram,
Insta, Facebook, YouTube, X. And last but not least, want to thank again Comer Distributing for an interesting beverage this week.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have more than one.
Right.
It was very sweet.
Yeah.
But it was definitely good. It's one that you're going to just sit out and you're going to have one drink. I could certainly do it.
Yeah, right. It's like pineapple upside down cake almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
With a little bit of sour kick. So, folks.
There he goes with the pineapple upside down stuff.
Thanks again for listening. Appreciate your support. Like, subscribe. See you next week.
Well, I woke up to a headline, same lie, dress new. Suit on the TV, telling me what's true. They shake your hand with one, take your wallet with two. Smile real wide while they voting against you. Neon lights flicker, bars half full. Old man arguing laws, nobody reads through. So we pour one strong, let the record spin. If you wanna know the truth, pull up and listen in. There's truth on tap and lies on ice cold. All facts with a little bite. No ivory tower, no pilot spin. Just crack glass talk and a one down pen. Raise it slow. Let the real ones speak. Pints and politics every damn week. Yo. Bills get passed in the dead of night. Buried real deep so they don't spark a fight. They call it progress, call it law. Funny how it never helps the folks they saw. Main Street hurting, backroom paid. Different rules for the suits they made. We ain't left right, we ain't told how to think. Just reading what they wrote while we pour another drink. The truth on tap and lies on ice. If it don't make sense, we say it twice. No call, release, no party line. Just working class eyes, reading between the signs. It's power, hate, daylight. We'll keep the lights on, playing some politics till the bullshit's gone. Yo. They don't mind you angry, they just don't want you informed. Yeah, so we read it out loud while the bed stay warm. This truth on tap, don't choke it down. If it stings a little, you're closed now. From state house off to a beat up bar. Same old game, just different cards. Raise a glass for the ones who vote. Pints and politics, that's truth, no coke, yeah. Drink on it. Been clear. They work for you, not the other way round.